Hi, I'm Dr. Gitlin, Aviva Gitlin, and I am on the faculty of WCSPP. And I thought I'd take just a minute in this video to speak a little bit about the ideas that inform my teaching. What really informs my teaching is my understanding of what the psychoanalytic arc is and the process that we want to go through. Um, for me, that arc always starts when we have a feeling that's kind of confusing for us. That's not exactly what we imagined we'd think. And we will always find that the first feelings that react in situations are often defensive feelings. And these defensive feelings, these things that come up to protect us, because that's what a defense is, I like to think of it as a protector. These things that come up to defend us are often defending against very old wounds that have suddenly emerged in this current situation. So what we want to do is first understand that this is a way of protecting oneself. And then the next move in the arc is to understand what is it that this protector is protecting against. What is the wound that happened a year ago, in your childhood, multiple times in your life, that has accumulated onto this feeling and has as its response this way of protecting us. So once we find out what it's protecting, we'll want to go to the stories of what happened to this person and how it learned to protect the way we did. How did this part learn to protect the way it did? Once we get to the story, what we will often find that our 7-year-old self or our 12-year-old self or our self from 5 years ago doesn't understand everything that we can now see as an adult. And so one of the jobs of psychoanalysis is to look at the stories we told to ourselves in response to some situation and notice that they're 7-year-old stories or 12-year-old stories. And could we look at the situation with a bit more complexity and see what else may have been going on? And just because we felt at that moment very rejected or very hurt or very unseen, or all of those wounds that we all experience as children, very powerless, very frightened, very alone. All humans experience that at some point and react in different ways. But what we want to do is notice what story we told ourselves and check whether that story is really completely true. The main aim of psychoanalysis is to change the narrative, is one of the way people speak about narrative therapy. But that's the narrative we want to change, the narrative that compels us to act in a certain way, even though it no longer makes sense. So that's what informs my understanding of psychoanalysis. And I sort of see each theorist as kind of focusing on different parts of that spectrum. And I am always interested in finding new ways to look at the various parts of that spectrum. I teach in the advanced psychotherapy program. I teach a class on dreams. I have taught classes on sexuality, and I'm currently teaching a class on relational theory. So looking forward to meeting you at WCSPP. Thanks.